Yo, 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 yo. Cheers. Little espresso. Sunday, February 5th. There's some snow here. I gotta clear it out before I can go to the gym. But I wanna talk about the gym. If you know this channel, you know there's always kind of a personal development thing going on. Even before I think I really knew what that term even meant. You know what I mean? There is a personal development thing going on. So I want to talk about the gym. I think some of you guys who might have followed my channel over the years, you probably noticed I got really skinny, and then I got really into like this weird food. Well, not weird, but like the channel was for a minute kind of documenting like some dietary health things I was going through, and it was kind of rough because that was like not a pretty phase of my life. And honestly, like when I meet people today, I don't like I'm not like ashamed of that period, but I'm like, I don't really like it, you know what I mean? But I feel like putting that on YouTube was good because I've gotten a lot of people who have written me saying like that shit was super helpful, you know? So shout out to anyone that was kind of positively impacted by just seeing like my approach to fixing certain issues in my life through nutrition, right? Not getting into it any more than that. But it worked, you know. I was like 130 pounds. Now I'm like 180 and probably like 165 without going to the gym. And the gym has been something that, because I've always gone to the gym. I've always liked the gym and stuff until I got skinny, right? And then I was like, no thanks. But I always had the wrong kind of like not opinion, but like philosophy in the gym, you know? And I think it started even like when I was, you know, I can remember when I was really little, like my dad telling me like what a push-up was and stuff, and like saying I could get really strong if I did a certain number of them and whatnot. And then I took a weight training class in middle school, and like that, what I can mainly remember about that, besides like what machines I liked, which is another key thing, but the way we were graded was our ability to lift more weight over time. You know, like every 2 weeks we had to like deuce, you call it, where you bench press a higher weight twice. And then after I kind of like healed my body and put on like, you know, some weight, I can't remember what I was when I moved to Austin, but I was healthy. I was like thicker, you know, filled out a bit. And then I started working out, and I was instantly got more into the compound exercises, bench pressing and deadlifts and squats and stuff. And I was also going to a Planet Fitness, which is like a shitty ass gym. It just was the closest gym to my house. I never knew what a Planet Fitness was, so I was like, all right, I'll just go here. It's like right there. And it sucked. Don't go to Planet Fitness. I mean, I don't want to get into why Planet Fitness is not a good thing. I mean, I guess it's fine, better than nothing, right? But it just, I don't know. Going to a better gym makes a huge difference, and I'll explain why later. I don't want to get into like too much. I'm trying to gloss over some stuff. But it's funny, like when I was eating a lot, I would always watch bodybuilders eat because I was eating a lot and they were eating a lot. But I never got into the lifting side of what they were doing, you know. And you know, in Austin, I was lifting weights, and I would go in. I would like deadlift and try to get better at like lift more weight, right? That was again the goal, like the mindset. And it's not a good mindset to have. Depends on if you want to be a power lifter, go for it. But if you want to go into the gym to build muscle, which I think is why most people go in there, is for the aesthetics, there's a different way to lift weights. And you'll hear bodybuilders talk about it. And bodybuilding is interesting because it's like this crazy, it's a crazy sport, right? And I like bodybuilding. I read Arnold Schwarzenegger's book, Total Recall. Awesome book. If you want like a really, 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 really good autobiography, that's got to be one of the top ones. just crazy story. I learned so much about him. And it just like, I was addicted to reading it. Like, I think I read the whole thing in like a few days, you know? And he doesn't really talk about this, and I mean, he talks about bodybuilding a lot, but I'm just kind of like trying to expand on like the world of bodybuilding, because he was really kind of a major component of it exploding. And if you're interested, that's a good book to read. I'm sure there's plenty others that you could probably recommend in the comments if you're into it too. But it's just like a big industry now, you know? Gyms are a big industry, supplements are a big industry, like, you know, and there's so many layers to the bodybuilding thing, you know? And there's all like the, you know, so much of that. I mean, I'm not trying to like, this isn't like a placing a judgment thing, but there's a lot of like bodybuilding aspects that involve, I guess you put it under the steroid thing, you know what I mean? I mean, there's that in sports and acting and movies and stuff too. So it's like, it's funny how it's still a little like funny to talk about, but that, you know, that's a component too. But kind of going to like the more like, not getting into bodybuilding as like a, like, oh, I want to be giant, but like, you know, just like I want to look better. And you don't have to be massive to look better from the gym without, you know, doing, obviously. It's, I get a little twisted. Hope it's coming through okay. But bodybuilding is interesting, and the main point of bodybuilding is to build muscle, right? To shape a muscle aesthetically, right? And you do that differently in the gym. And this is the main point of this video, 7 minutes in. Make sure this music's gonna play over again. I can't stand when the music stops. So when you're trying to get, here's the big breakdown. When you're trying to get stronger, you want to lift heavier weights fewer times, right? And you will get stronger. You will build muscle, but you will get stronger faster than you build muscle. If you want to build muscle, you lift a lower weight more times, and you do the reps slower. So the whole point of the exercise is to target and increase blood flow to a certain muscle, right? And you have total, it's like meditative. You're stretching, and then you're contracting, and you're squeezing, and you're just doing that. And you do that with a weight. Doesn't matter what the weight is. Here, like people will be like, what kind of weight? You know, friends I've talked to or whatever, what weight do I use? It's like you do a weight where on that 12th rep, it's really heavy, and you almost can't do it. And this is also why I like machines and cables and stuff, is they're very user-friendly, they're not intimidating, and you can get killer workouts, especially when you're like in the beginner stage, by going to failure on these things. And you can adjust the weights quickly. So you could drop the weights. Like ideally, you would want to hit a couple sets and then not be able to do that weight anymore, and then lower the weight. And if you're on your 12th rep and you're struggling, but you find yourself putting other muscles into it, you need to lower the weight. You just like get a better pump. So it's, without getting too much into that stuff, what I'm trying to boil down is like, it's way less risk to try to build a better body in the gym if you have the right philosophy. It doesn't matter about the weight, it matters about the quality of the exercise. And you don't want to do like dangerous stuff, you know what I mean? Like I bench press with a buddy, but it's a little nerve-wracking because I'm trying to go to failure and you have like this heavy ass weight above you. It's like, you know, I'll do like, you really got to watch it with that. But on a machine, it's like I'll do another rep where like I cannot lift it, or dumbbells, you know, you could do that. Dumbbells are way safer. But the main thing is like, don't care about how much weight you can lift. You know what I mean? It's all about the quality of what the blood is doing in your muscles. And that's what, like, I've been going to the gym not that long this time around, probably like a good 40 days in a row, and best results of my life. And I've never felt better about the gym. I've never been more like addicted to the gym. And the addictive part comes from like the brain thing too. Like I get this massive endorphin release when I go to the gym, and it's become like a major priority of mine. And it's positive. It affects your day positively. I was, like, try not to make these videos too long. I'd rather make multiple videos, But in December, I could make a whole video about my progression to get to December, right? Maybe I should later. But my main, I'll do that for another day. My main point here is like, I want to introduce the topic of the difference between weightlifting and bodybuilding, and how bodybuilding is not to be a monster. Bodybuilding is essentially just to look better and to feel better. You will get stronger putting on muscle, so don't worry about, if you want to get strength. I just find it way more easy to approach mentally, physically, and it's risk-wise. You're probably not going to get hurt the way you would, if you were just trying to pick up the heaviest thing you could pick up, So it makes it, it takes a lot of the edge out of it, and I get a lot more out of it at the same time. And it's as simple as, don't look at it as how much weight can I lift. Look at it as how good of a quality of an exercise can I get on putting blood through the muscle. And, obviously there's a whole, like I was saying earlier with like how bodybuilding and fitness is this giant thing. It's so funny because it's so repetitious, right? Like you eat this, you do this, and you do this, and like you do that like every day, right? Or whatever, and you get these results, and essentially that's what the whole industry kind of boils down to, But so obviously it's a deep pool of stuff. But I just wanted to make a video today to be consistent with making videos and sharing what's on my mind. And, I love talking about music. I have so much to talk about music. I was commenting on the last video about how there's certain things, especially with like Big Chocolate and electronic music, that I can't really speak on yet because don't have the music out yet. And it's not that I want to spoil the music. It's just like when the music is public, it gives you the platform to be able to speak about it. You know what I mean? And that's an important reason why you should be releasing your music. And I'll talk about that later, of course. I got videos for days, but again, I want to be consistent with uploading videos and talking about stuff and introducing concepts to expand the conversation. You know what I mean? I can't get super deep on something I haven't talked about online for like either ever or in like years, right? So kind of got to just take it, I don't want to say baby steps, but one step at a time. I probably introduce like 4 things I could talk about, make a couple more videos about, and that's how I view reading too. I've referenced reading books a lot. That's how reading is too. It's like you don't just read one book that someone recommends you and everything's fixed. You just keep reading books. Every book you read inspires another book you should or want to read. You know what I mean? So I'm going to cut this off before I talk my head off about a bunch of other topics. But I hope this was helpful in some way. Feel free to comment anything, and I'll definitely be making more videos about this in the future, obviously. But yeah, shaka bra.